And welcome back to the IWAR Network Tubecast. I'm your host and NWL Commissioner, Alex J. Along with me, as always, is IWAR Commissioner, Matt Riley. How you doing this evening, Matt?
I'm doubly good as last time we tried this.
Full disclosure, everyone, we had some technical issues a couple days ago. So we actually recorded 2 episodes, and they were corrupted, and I was unable to use those. So we're giving this another shot. So
they were corrupted. They took Trump University money.
Oh boy. So this is a very special episode where we'll be talking about leagues outside the IWAR. So the ones that we picked were the 4 ladies leagues and the American Wrestling League. Do you want to give us some histrionics on the women's leagues?
Sure. Way back when the IWA decided to start a ladies league, because back before there were divas, there was a woman named Wendy Richter and Misty Blue Sims were kind of the women's wrestlers. And then there was the Japanese Bomb Angels. There was the Fabulous Moolah. There was, what's her name, Mae Young. But people would make female wrestlers.
Yeah.
And this is where my opinion of the women's league skews a bit from maybe everyone else. But the women's leagues, there were multiple of them. There were a lot more. There used to be the Galactic Amazon or Giant Amazon. There was something Amazon involved at some point. I'm sure someone can chime in below and let us know in our comment section. So these leagues were kind of dedicated to women's wrestlers. Now, one of the common themes you find in women's wrestling leagues is attempts at humor. Some knock it out of the park, a lot do not. And you also find countless numbers of porn stars made into wrestlers. Not a big leap, wrestling versus porn, you know. You're running around, writhing with somebody else there. Now, women's wrestling has gone through many changes, and the more modern day wrestling is more athletic, competitive, as opposed to the days of like divas and like, you know, bra and panty matches or put them in the mud. So the IWA's women's leagues, and what we're going to do is to kind of give a preface of why we're doing these is we want to do some non-IWAR leagues. We often say in the IWA Ringside magazine, hey, you know what? Spend $1, check out an IWA league and see which ones are out there. Spend like $3 or $4. Check out 3 of the top 10 leagues, right? Check a few out each month or every few weeks and see what's out there. So these episodes of the IWAR Tubecast are kind of the non-IWAR leagues, is to kind of give you a little like, hey, here's a snapshot. We didn't do multiple bulletins. It's one bulletin only. So if we got a bad cycle and you're like, oh man, usually we have a lot of trash talk. Like you can say the same thing like in the IWL. We've had some times where there's a lot less trash talk. Other times there's a ton of it. Snapshot is what we get out of it. So the women's leagues are as follows. You have the oldest league, the Lovely Ladies League, which is in the Jade Federation at 466 cycles. So it's nearing 500. It actually, of the 4 leagues, is the most active. We'll get back to that in a minute. Then we have, second oldest is the Femme Fatale League at 361. The Mystic Diva League is at 289, and Vicious Valkyries at 235. Here's the problem. The Lovely Ladies League has a lot of competition. There are 60, I think, was it 69 wrestlers?
Yeah.
Altogether. A lot with records that have less than 50 matches. Now, that's just part of the toll. But my personal take when it comes to women's leagues is that a lot of players play there, and big roster players especially, to rack up the easy IWA report appearance, because there's only 4 leagues to go through. If you pull off a tag title, you win the ladies world tag titles. I think back in the days of like Frank Snow had Leather Fox, there was a way more serious tone. There's a commissioner's report. I have an LLL report from like I think 98 that someone sent me once, and it's active. Like, it's funny. I actually should have dug it up. But it was like, wow, lots of trash talk, a commissioner report, and a women's league. Now, were half the names like, you know, Trish Stratus type themes? Sure they were. But the point is that people were active. So compare notes here. So in the Lovely Ladies League, like I said, there were 69 wrestlers. There are also 24 cards and about 15 wrestlers in the Battle Royal. Not too shabby for, you know, small league. The other 3 leagues combined have less than 35 cards and have about 20 wrestlers total in the Battle Royal.
Yeah, so for example, we have the Mystic Diva League. They have 12 cards. Femme Fatale has 11 cards. The Vicious Valkyrie League has 7 cards. So those are pretty low numbers.
Yeah, they are. And you know what? To be fair, there's only trash talk in one of these bulletins, and it's a small snippet of language. That's fine.
That's actually pretty good. It's halfway decent.
Yeah, it is. And that's the thing is, as someone who's been in leagues where you were in the TTL for a while.
Yeah.
Was there much trash talk in there?
No.
Yeah. So it's not like a women's league only thing. I just want to make sure people understand that what you see in the NWL, the IWAR leagues is not always that common. Sometimes you'll have leagues that are really great and they have a lot of trash talk, a lot of players interaction, etc. But not all the time.
Now this is where I suggest anyone who wants to go to like one of these leagues that may not have trash talk at a level that they're used to, go with a friend.
Right.
So you guys can at least work with each other and then maybe inspire other people to join in the fun.
Yeah, and I would say this. I've often said, and I still feel that the most underserved population in the game are the big roster players. There's so much you could do with those guys. You could be running strats, contests, events, the works. I'm not going to do it, but someone else could. I think it was Keith Maple who used to run the Best of the Best. I might be wrong, but I think it was him that ran the Best of the Best tournament. And they would actually have a little draft of like people who would get involved and kind of these teams of 4 players.
That sounds like a great idea too.
It was awesome. It was like I think it was 4 or 5 cycles. And what you did is you just drafted a quick team together. So let's say like I said, I want to do it, and they think I'm a worth draft pick. So I'm on like the fourth person on a team. They would rank you by your points, but it's for only like certain wrestlers. So you have to pick like 1 or 2 wrestlers to represent you for that cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So you really have to call your shot, which is tough. But it was more fun. And again, like I said, that's something I could see. Well, in a similar tone, I think the women's leagues, if done right, could really do a lot of fun things. I think probably the shenanigans factor would work well in these leagues.
It's funny because you don't see, like, when you go through the names, you don't see a lot of, like, Sasha Banks ripoffs. You don't see a lot of Bailey, Charlotte, Becky Lynch ripoffs, which makes me believe that a lot of people playing in this league does not watch current wrestling.
Right, and that's actually something. I remember one of our surveys in the IWAR asked people what they watch wrestling, and some people would be like, "I don't watch wrestling at all." And like current players, like, "I don't watch wrestling." They play for the game, so okay.
It goes to show you how good the game, I guess, mechanics is. That they may not be interested in wrestling, but they do enjoy playing the game.
Right, and it's fun. I like some of the names. My favorite names would probably be Becky to the Future, Femme Fatale League.
I like Bruce Jenner, the male version.
Yes, I like Homewrecker Shelley Decker. Fun to say. Cheese Red. The Day After Tamara. I still think these probably names come from like Jake Duvall or like we had some, of course, the adult film star names. Then, of course, in the Vicious Valkyries League, which resides in the Steel Federation, we have Dexterity Man, Momentum Man, and Stamina Man of BBL and MML fame. So they don't ban male wrestlers. Take that as you want.
You have Malicious Michelle Tanner from Full House.
I do. I don't watch Full House. I wouldn't know what that name meant. So,
you're not a Full House fan?
No. Was that the one with the twins?
That's the one with twins. Yeah.
Okay, that's as far as
came on. I think before Family Matters.
I didn't watch it. I was more of a Growing Pains guy. And once I found out what a weirdo Mike was, I was like, yeah, I'm kind of all set.
I think he's gotten better though. But I used to like it because I had a guy on there named Boner.
Right. Totally not a problem. In the Mystic Diva League and the Gold Federation, there's a lot of male wrestlers here. And again, I go to the point that some players who want to make a cheap, easy shot at the IWA report can win a women's title because
not
they
there's anything wrong with that.
No. If you want to do that, I mean, I could also go to I got an email today from a soccer league. It's indoor soccer league. And they have like a free-for-all division, which is sort of like for families to get together and play.
Yeah.
Maybe I want to play in the free-for-all, just whoop on some moms and
soccer moms
and soccer moms and dads, and be like, "Yeah, take it."
Although there's a funny name over in the Mystic Divas League, that big fat wrestle mama from Venus, which I find interesting.
Where else would she be from?
Of course.
Now, the Lovely Ladies League is the oldest one. I would just say this: if you like women's wrestling and you want to give us a go, be our guests. I think one thing we want to try to make sure people understand about these non-IWAR episodes is we're not here going like, wow, we're so much better. Look how crappy these are. I don't see them as crappy so much as opportunity to like really improve.
Yeah.
To move the needle. I think we were figuring out that there's probably like about 4 or 5 players in each of these leagues, maybe even 3.
Right.
And as long as there's a certain number of players, those leagues will existing. Now, some leagues get a little more leeway than others because they've been around for a long time. They kind of have a soft spot for leagues that have been around for 400 issues or whatever. Personally, I would say one of these leagues, probably the Jade, which is Lovely Ladies League, could use a commissioner.
Yeah.
And the reason why is this. The draw of a Jade League is that it's the last of the federations that run. So you have 5 federations worth of drops to work off of. That's why there's so much activity in there. I would say, yeah, load up, go in there with a commissioner's report, make it 1 or 2 pages at most, probably 1 page to start, and invite people. The IWA is very supportive, but more so if you have a track record. If not, if you have supportive players with track records, if you can get players to kind of come on board and give it a try, do it. Make a contest, funniest name, or best, whatever, I don't know, finisher. The Lovely Ladies logo is right out of the 80s, so it is kind of fitting.
I wonder if that's the original logo.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Back in the day, there was Laura Lee, who was, before Kim, there was Lorelei, or Laura Lee, that's how you pronounce it. And she was the Kim before Kim. Those of you listening don't know what Kim is. Kim is sort of the IWA's administrative genius. She handles everything and deals with everybody. Yeesh. Laura Lee left the game, and I want to say they used that image of her. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was maybe like a daughter or a niece of the guy that created the game. That kind of stuff had happened in the past. I remember my guy Dick Jackson was a favorite of his early on, and that was always kind of like, I remember that being kind of a cool thing, like, oh, he likes the name, right? So in the summary, I would say, if you like women's wrestling and you want to try being a commissioner, you got nothing to lose. It's a great way to try out some experimental stuff. Don't overdo it. See some guys go in there and I always use IWA Flip as an example, who bust their ass putting out awesome reports and get nothing in return. I would say make it simple, like Alex said, bring in a friend or two, go back and forth. You can have a great feud, work off each other, practice, and the same mindset of playing in a dead league. When you're playing in a league with a lot less competition, you have a chance to grab a title.
Yeah.
So the women's league's underserved. Make me a sandwich.
Now, guys, if you want to start your own Divas Revolution, this is probably a good place to start.
That's right.
So next up, we have the American Wrestling League.
Yep.
So, Matt, why don't you give us some histrionics on the American Wrestling League?
All right. Way back in 2011, the IWA had 2 rookie leagues, the AWL and the NWL. Rich Schwarzenberg went in and took over the AWL and created it into a massive powerhouse that regularly had over 200 cards.
Whoa.
When I say power, it was awesome. It was crazy big, crazy competitive, and what was happening eventually is the league grew, we got veteran players in there, it was a definite point in the AWL's life where they dropped their rookie league status. And that's something NWL will never do. And sometimes I wish he didn't, because not that we get a ton of rookies, but I think if we had a competing league, like if there was a competitor for SmackDown, a competitor for Raw, trying to outdo each other, having fun with it,
Yep.
And I think AWL-wise, what happened is once they opened the door to the veterans, that haven, if you will, for rookies was gone. The AWL didn't have a term limit as the NWL does. And Rich put in these awesome reports that were just, pay-per-views, every cycle pretty much it felt like, all these big events going on, commissioner titles, lots of engagement from the players. The AWL reminded me as much of a league could remind me of the MRL as possible in modern day, because he had so many players so active, and he was a big interaction with online stuff, getting players involved. Miss Lee Hong Long. So... Yeah, I know. The AWL is now on its 93rd cycle, established 2011, and we have some names in there, like, see here, Connecticut Yankee, Mr. Everything, Kirk Lockerin, Daddy G, King George.
The current league champion, ICA Cat, former NWL rookie.
He sure is.
Standout.
Yeah. There were, and there's one rule in this league, you can't transfer in with over 1,000 wins or more. So you have to come in with a relatively smaller record. Now that means the guys like Connecticut Yankee with 3,000 wins, Mr. Lockerin with almost 5,500, and you go, wow, that's pretty cool. It is a good balanced league. Now, what happened was when Rich left, he handed the keys over to the house, if you will, to Will Wisdom. Will Wisdom runs a very tight report. This actually issue is kind of a good one to get because it had some action. The previous cycle's War Zone. See here, 5 free matches to the Battle Royal winner. If there are over 100 cards, 2 wrestlers for $1. Over 150 cards, free Battle Royal for everybody who's active. You know, it had, in this issue, there were a total of, sorry, I'm flipping through here, 43 cards. So not near that level, but, you know, still pretty damn good. They do a thing where the leader of the wrestler who leads the year for the points for Wrestler of the Year gets 5 free matches.
Nice.
Kind of cool. That, you know, puts it on you to like keep yourself up the top there. And it does build an incentive to be the top dog. Let's see here. The tag team leaders of the free tag team and TV tag team shots. They're Men in Black, who had quite a run in the BRL for a bit way back when. And let's see here. We have a roll call of champions, which goes
I think it's awesome, by the way.
Yeah, it's a fun to look at. 2012. Some of them go back to 2013. So you can kind of see the genesis of when these things came to be. Tag titles 2014. So it's a cool way to look back and see that. I'm like, I'll do this in the BRL, ha ha.
I like the upcoming events because it looks like they're having a pay-per-view every cycle. So 93 is SummerSlam, 94 is Clash of the Champion,
Right.
October is Victory Road, and then October 30th is Halloween Havoc.
Yeah, so I mean, there's always something going on, and that's cool. I think you look at like the IWL, which kind of builds around like one pay-per-view every 4 or 5 months, or same with like other like BRL, you know, Autumn Anarchy is coming up, you know, we build up to it. This keeps it a constant motion where it's always something going on, always something big, which reflects real wrestling right now, you know.
Yeah, with the 19 pay-per-views a year now.
Yeah, who doesn't want that? Yeah. Talent-wise, there's a lot of talent in here. Now this, I will say, by AWL standards, is a little light in the trash talk department, and that's the 7 pages. But that's the expectations the league of AWL builds. You know, it's a lot of competitive people in there, a lot of creative people in there.
Yeah.
Stuff from Kabuki Dragon was great.
I like the Dana Brooks stuff. Was cool.
Enjoyed a lot of the interaction there. So it's a fun league to watch. You know, not a bad idea if you want to get involved. If you're looking for a big league to have a big stage, because I know some people say, well, I want to go into a league that's really active and really, you know, other people say, I prefer a league with less noise and take it easy and chill.
It goes back to how you want to play.
Right.
That's what it comes down to.
Absolutely.
Now, if you like a league that's going to have a lot of pay-per-views, that has a lot of commissioners, championships, that have that has good trash talk, I mean, this is one for you. If you're someone that likes a big commissioners report, again, this is another league for you.
If you want to get involved, email the commissioner. His email address is wizdom.will@gmail.com. You can also go to the easily accessible Facebook page for the AWL, which is pretty fun. A lot of the guys, I will say one thing about the AWL that stands out to me is the competitive nature of the players. They are very competitive with each other. I mean, I'm talking like trash talking each other. So it gets to be like, okay, these guys hate each other. And, you know, that's good for the game. You know, have competitive, rivalries.
Yeah.
I do think that, as long as you keep it from being too personal, which it's a matter of players being who they are, fine. But AWL-wise, I'd say if you're looking for a top-tier league, the AWL is one of the top 10 leagues in the game. And it's because of the players in that league and the report done by Will Wisdom. So if you're looking for a league to go into, let's say like you're leaving the NWL, you're graduating, you want to go into a league, it's really action-packed. It's in the Steel Federation. It's got a 100th anniversary coming up soon. A lot going on, so I'd check it out.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I would say the last thing I would say as a non-IWAR league is to give a bump to the Allstar League as it goes into its 500th cycle.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Now, way back when, Frank Snow took over the ASL as the exclusive commissioner there, and he's had some help building it up, and it's getting stronger, and he's put together some really fantastic prizes to generate excitement. So this cycle that just played was 49, right?
Yeah.
All right. So everyone that was active in this past issue, is going to get a couple of deals out of it. So things like the League Champion, the next issue, will get 10 free matches. The Battle Royal winner gets 5 free matches. Trash Talk of the month gets 5 free matches. There's a bonus deal where all managers submitting Trash Talk get 5 free matches in ASL only. So it's really cool. If you do the match deal, the $12 match deal,
Yeah.
you get 30 scrub wins as opposed to 20. So it's building up towards the 500th issue. If you go to the playIWA.com main page, you can see a lot of the bonuses. One of the biggest ones is that there won't be some sort of like 2-for-1 bonus at the 500th issue, because it'll be 5-for-1.
What?
That's right. It's crazy. But you must spend $10. But if you spend $10, you can get 5-for-1 matches right there. So
That's insane.
Enjoy that. Yeah, that's 50 matches for $10. That's pretty intense.
Yeah, man, I dig it, man. I transferred over Luther Alexander today, so you'll be seeing him shortly.
There you go.
There you go.
I won't spoiler alert, but there may be somebody joining him in that league. Dun dun dun.
I guess you have to transfer in to find out.
That's right.
Yeah.
And perhaps we'll do another ASL update.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, we're doing these here and there, but we're going to do essentially one of these every about 4 weeks. The next one we're doing is a combination mostly of the throwback leagues. So you have the CCL, right? CCL or CLL?
CCL.
CCL, which is always kind of funny because I started the game in the CCL, which was back then the Claw and Cat League. Because why would you name a wrestling league Claw and Cat, right? I know, my cat's somewhere, and they're like, what? The CCL, MWL, which is the tribute league to the Mid-Atlantic Regional League.
Yeah.
JDL, which isn't a tribute league so much as the report's like a throwback type report. And I think it was Heroes and Legends League. So we're trying that out.
Yep.
So we're going to do these every few weeks and kind of give a look at, actually every month, so you can look at the bulletins. So it won't be as often as a Tubecast per se, but it will be fun.
Yeah, I dig it, man. I dig it. It's gonna be a fun ride. Although I may want to look at the Louisiana Swamp League at some point too.
Louisiana Swamp, is that a real league?
That's a real league. It's in the Steel Fed.
God. All right.
All right, guys, we are officially out of time. So for